Hello everyone, my name is Billie Purdie and I am the Women in Esports Manager at British Esports. I work on the Women in Esports initiative Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, and just push for everything that we're doing. See, I was thinking about this one in the shower this morning. I feel like it's just because I really like it right now, but I've been really enjoying Mexican food. So I'm gonna go with Mexican food. It's just like all the flavors, all the spices, like I love anything in wraps. Like I could literally have wraps every day. So I think it's the whole like tortilla thing. I don't know, like it's just, and I'm vegetarian. So for me to be like, oh yeah, I like Mexican is probably a bit of a surprising answer. But when vegetarian Mexican is done good, it's done really good. I think I've mentioned this on a previous British Esports video, so I might steer away from the game that I first mentioned. I think it was The Simpsons Hit and Run that I mentioned on that video. So for this video, I might throw in a different answer, and this is going to be probably of no surprise to anyone. I don't think it'll be an answer that gets picked because it's such a new game, but Valorant is probably the best game I've ever played. It's the game that takes up like most of my time. I scrim, I compete in it, and yeah, like just the different communities that have formed from the game Valorant. Like Riot are absolutely killing it with the female scene and what they do for women in this game. So yeah, I think I've found it to be the most sort of welcoming community as well that I've also enjoyed being part of, and it's helped me ultimately grow within esports also. So yeah, it's probably the best game I've played. Oh, that's such a tough question to answer. Okay, so it wasn't the worst game at the time, but now that I think about it, it was a terrible game. So when I was younger, I would play this game called Pandemonium, and I can't remember if it was on like PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, but it was terrible. Like you just need look up Pandemonium graphics, or it was awful, and it was so difficult as well for something that was supposed to be like accessible to kids to play. It was just terrible. I had to get my older cousin to complete it for me because I just could not. You know what though, like the music on it is so catchy. Like whenever I hear the music to Pandemonium, I'm like, oh my god, it's Pandemonium. Like it brings back like that nostalgic memory of being a kid and playing games. I'm gonna say Japan, because A, it would give me an excuse to visit Japan. B, the culture over there is wild and I really want to see what it's like. And C, I don't have a C. But yeah, I would really like to see an esports event in Japan. I think this is kind of easy for me to answer. As soon as I built a PC in lockdown, I have never looked back. Don't get me wrong, console is what I started on. Console is what got me into gaming. And even like to this day, I do enjoy playing on my Nintendo Switch. But like, it's just PC over console every day. You can do so much on your PC. Like you can have your Discord or your Spotify or anything like up running on your second monitor whilst you're playing games. So for me, it's kind of a no-brainer. It could be any video game character. I would be Yoshi from Mario. No particular reason. I just found him really cool as a kid. I still find him cool, and like the little noises and stuff he makes, like he's just so cute. So, and you don't want to harm him. So I would be Yoshi. So within esports, I didn't really primarily start in esports. I kind of started first off as a streamer on Twitch back in like 2019, 2020. I really wanted to start engaging with the online community and gaming community because all through high school I was kind of a closeted gamer and was kind of embarrassed about it. But the older I got, the less I started to care. And I think when lockdown kind of kicked in during 2020, it really allowed me to feel as though I could be more myself, which is when I really got into streaming. But I had issues with that due to living in the countryside when I lived with my parents still. So that kind of got put on hold. And in the meantime, I had started working for the Goose House as a volunteer tournament admin and community admin. So that was just like moderating Discords and things like that, Twitch chat and whatnot, and working on the Birds of Prey series. And then from the Goose House, I very quickly moved into Esports Scotland as an events coordinator. And from that, I worked on their Scottish Esports League, SEL4 in particular, which was an amazing Scottish esports event. From that, I moved up to community manager pretty quickly. Straight after that event, I had asked if I wanted to be community manager, which I was like, yes, absolutely. And this was all while still working part-time at Starbucks, by the way, and doing a degree. I had been asked if I had applied to the Women in Esports Manager role, which, to be honest, I didn't even see it. So I handed in an application pretty late, meanwhile still working on all these other projects. And yeah, here I am. I got offered the full-time role in esports, and I've never really looked back. When I was events coordinator and head admin for SCL4 for the game Valorant, just seeing it go from being an online qualifier stage to actually being at the LAN event in person over the weekend and seeing like the sort of outcome of the community that had come to watch the Valorant finals was very surreal for me. Just seeing like all of these people come together from different areas, different backgrounds, you know, like parents with their kids, people that go to LAN, you know, like sort of LAN goers, and then just people that didn't really know what it was about but wanted to learn what it was about. I thought, this is the sort of place that I want to be in, and these are my people because they just get it. And I had spent like so much of my life sort of closeted to that internally because I was maybe embarrassed of it, but now I just fully embrace it. And that was the first sort of moment I had sort of put myself out there and in the spotlight of, this is me, this is what I enjoy doing, and just sort of embraced it. And yeah, I've just never looked back from there, and I've just thought, oh my goodness, like I want to be in this industry for the rest of my life. I feel like it's really difficult to answer because I don't feel like I've reached my full potential yet. I feel like there's a lot of things that we've done at Women in Esports that have been exceptional. I think for me, so far, the highlight moment whilst being at Women in Esports was the Women in Esports show match at Insomnia. Not just for Women in Esports, but for me personally, like being up there on the stage with, you know, girls that had competed in Game Changers, and, you know, like just being able to bring so many different people together again to compete in something to show that, you know, women are here and women are going to be within this space. And yeah, it was just a great experience to be able to provide that for other people also, and not just get Game Changer players involved, but also get, you know, 2 members of the community involved also. So yeah, it was just a great experience, and I feel like that's probably been one of my biggest achievements because the feedback from it was just so well received also. In 5 years' time, I honestly can't give a solid answer as to where I think I would be. I've not even been full-time in esports for a year yet, and I feel like I've already achieved so much and made so many new friends, and it's been such a roller coaster ride, but since I've gone full-time, I feel like it's just gone up and up and up and up and up, and there's not really anything stopping us or me. So yeah, I hope I'm happy. I hope I'm still doing what I love. But yeah, that's all I can really hope for, is that I'm happy and I'm still doing what I love, and I'm still, you know, creating opportunities and helping make the space more inclusive and diverse for others. It feels inspiring. I feel so lucky and so blessed to get to work with so many amazing women every day, which to me, a couple of years ago, I didn't even know or have any women to look up to in this space. I didn't even know it was an option for me. I didn't know that gaming and esports was a suitable career option. So to be able to be openly out there and doing what I love every single day with amazing people within the space, it does feel really inspiring, honouring to an extent also. Like just being here amongst people that I admire is, yeah, really inspiring. At the moment, not necessarily. I think it is improving. I think it's getting better. I think representation across the board, not just in esports, is becoming less of an issue. People are beginning to see themselves in these positions based off of other people in these positions more and more. And I think that's a great thing. I think that's exactly what we need. I think that as generations go on, we're only getting more open-minded and more optimistic. And yeah, I think it will get better. I think we're not where we need to be yet. I don't think we're completely sort of equal in a sense, but I do think that representation is getting better. Oh, I was ready for this question. So many people, I think, have said that they were so against it, but for me, I can see both sides of the argument. I have very much always been for women and marginalised gender only tournaments. I think that you need that sort of safe space and environment to grow to show your capabilities within the scene. And, you know, why not both? What's wrong with having both? You're not taking anything away from the sort of main or open scene. It's just providing people with a safe space to go to should they want to utilize that safe space. It's not taking anything away from anyone. And yeah, I think it's a great place for people to make friends, to feel comfortable, to develop on their skills, and not just that, to start shining a light on these women that wouldn't necessarily maybe even go into gaming or esports because there is no space for them. I know I certainly felt like that. Where's my space? Until I found different communities that I could be part of. So why not have this, you know, sort of environment where people can do that and make new friends in? I mean, it makes sense to me. I want to see more organizations being held accountable for what they're doing in the diversity and inclusivity sort of area. That's not just esports and gaming, that's across the board, in my opinion. I feel as though DEI is such a checkbox for so many organizations. And, you know, it's just a one and done thing. Hey, we did a survey and we found this. Hey, we did an event and we found this. You know, this is something that people have to deal with every single day of their lives, whether that's their gender, their ethnicity, their disabilities, their age, whatever. Like, there's so many people that are facing struggles every single day when it comes to being included in things in the workplace. And, you know, it's something that isn't just a checkbox, and it is serious. And I feel as though it's not being taken serious by these top line sort of organizations. They are just seeing it as a one and done thing, which, don't get me wrong, a lot of organizations are doing their bit, and that's what we need, because it needs to start from the top. It can't be just us down here at the bottom shouting and pushing about it. It always starts from the top. So I'd like to see more organizations held accountable for what they're actually doing and whether they're continuing to commit to that. Because like I said, it's not just a one and done thing. There are people that are facing this every single day of their lives and going through, you know, barriers every single day of their lives, that it's not just a one day thing for them. You know what? I see these schools having these esports clubs now, competing in student champs. And if that was in my school when I was younger, I would have been all over that. I wouldn't have been ashamed. I wouldn't have been embarrassed. Because for me, like, I played sport when I was in school. Like, in primary school, I was playing football, and there would be me, one other girl, and all the boys. Like, it wasn't so much that I was ashamed of doing something that was stereotyped as a boy activity. It was more just that maybe it's just my area, and I don't know, small town mentality, but people just weren't really like talking about games here. It was very much a boy thing. Yeah, I think just instilling it from a younger age, because for me, it was always just seen as a hobby. And even when I was younger, if I played games too much, like, my mum would tell me I would get square eyes. So, like, just knowing that it's not something that is ruining your life or negatively impacting your life, but it's something that you can actually do with your life, which, to be honest, when I was younger, I feel as though maybe wasn't an option and has only recently started. I feel as though there's been this sort of technological revolution since COVID. You know, everyone was forced to stay at home. Everyone kind of got into games because of that, I feel as though, because they couldn't see their friends, so they jumped into Discord and played with their friends that way. So yeah, maybe it has only recently sort of come to the surface that this is viable. But yeah, maybe just instilling it from a younger age, and maybe seeing someone like that looked like me, a woman, in a sort of role that I admired would have helped as well. Women in esports to me is not just about gender in esports. Women in esports to me is a message to send across all areas, whether that be, again, your gender, your age, your ethnicity, any disabilities, whatever it may be, on getting everyone involved in esports. Yes, the name is Women in Esports, but to me the mission behind it is everyone should be welcome here. All are included. And yeah, no matter what your differences are, no matter what your walk of life is, there's a space for you here. And I will back that until the day I die. I feel as though esports is the space where people can be included. It should be one of the most inclusive activities possible. For me, Women in Esports is hope for the future. It's something that is not just work to me, it's my morals. And yeah, I just want to keep making sure that everyone knows that there's a space for them, and there are people here that are fighting your corner, and we'll keep pushing to make sure that you feel as though there's a space for you.